Antarctica is the one place on Earth that doesn't belong to anyone. No nations, no civilians, no witnesses, only treaties and in silence. Which is why what the drones found there was never meant to be seen. It started with a routine autonomous flight, an unmanned survey drone mapping ice density near a restricted zone, one not marked on public Antarctic maps. The drone's camera picked up something impossible. A shape, perfectly geometric, jet black, rising out of the ice like it had always been there. Not a rock, not a mountain, not ice, a monolith. The object didn't reflect light the way natural materials do. Sunlight seemed to bend around it, as if the surface absorbed brightness instead of reflecting it. When the drone circled closer, its instruments began malfunctioning. Altitude readings fluctuated, compass systems spun. Timestamps desynchronized by seconds, then minutes, and then the feed cut. The drone wasn't lost, it returned. But the footage was altered, entire frames missing. Audio replaced with low-frequency static. And one still image, briefly leaked before being scrubbed, showed the monolith clearly. Smooth, sharp-edged, standing alone in the ice. No markings, no erosion, as if it hadn't been exposed to time at all. Researchers who saw the image noticed something disturbing. The monolith cast a shadow that didn't match the sun's position, not even close. According to calculations, the shadow suggested a light source that wasn't in the sky, as if the object was responding to something below. Soon after, flight restrictions were expanded, satellite coverage blurred. Scientific teams in the region were reassigned overnight. Official explanation? Sensor anomaly, but anomalies don't require military lockdowns. A second drone was sent weeks later, this time under a defense contract. That drone never returned, no debris, no crash signal, just gone. Then came the whispers from inside the research stations. Scientists reported hearing a low hum at night. Not wind, not machinery. A vibration felt more than heard. Some said it caused headaches. Others said it caused vivid dreams. One glaciologist reportedly quit mid-season after claiming the ice near the monolith was warmer than surrounding areas. Heat from beneath the ice. That shouldn't be possible. Antarctica's ice sheet is kilometers thick, unless something is generating energy below it. Ancient maps complicate things further. Several pre-modern maps depict Antarctica without ice, and with strange symbols in the exact region where the monolith was found. Symbols resembling pillars or markers. Some researchers believe the monolith isn't a structure. It's a signal, a beacon, placed long ago, or recently, and that's where the timeline fractures. Ice core samples near the site show abnormal layering, as if the ice around the object melted and refroze repeatedly over thousands of years. Meaning the monolith has been active, not dormant, active. One classified briefing allegedly referred to it as an interface, not a relic, not an artifact. An interface between surface and subsurface systems, between human observation and something else. Then there's the behavior of the drones themselves. AI navigation systems reportedly attempted to descend when passing over the site, not due to error, due to command override, as if something below was calling them. Which leads to the most disturbing theory. The monolith wasn't discovered, it allowed itself to be found. By machines, not humans, because machines don't panic. They don't ask questions, and they don't leak information. Unless something goes wrong, and something did. After the first leak, global drone regulations over Antarctica were quietly updated. New altitude limits, mandatory encryption, automated memory wipes after certain coordinates. Why erase data unless there's something you don't want remembered? The final detail rarely mentioned is this. In the leaked still image, zoomed in at extreme resolution, the surface of the monolith wasn't smooth. It was patterned, not engraved, not carved, structured, like circuitry, but not human. And if Antarctica is hiding a structure that predates civilization, or one that's still functioning, then the ice isn't protecting us from it, it's containing it. Which raises the question no one in power once asked. If the ice keeps melting, what happens when the monolith is no longer buried? After the first drone footage leaked, something strange happened that almost nobody noticed. Weather data across the entire Antarctic region began to change, but not in ways that made sense. Localized temperature spikes appeared in places with no volcanic activity. Ice sheets shifted without seismic triggers. Magnetic readings fluctuated for seconds at a time, then normalized. Every anomaly pointed to one place, the monolith's coordinates. Military satellites didn't just blur the region. They rerouted orbital paths to avoid passing directly overhead. Why avoid something unless it reacts to observation? A classified research memo, later leaked in fragments, used a phrase that terrified analysts: passive activation through attention. In other words, the more it was observed, the more active it became. That explained why humans weren't sent. Machines were autonomous drones, AI probes, systems that could be sacrificed. But even machines weren't immune. Internal drone logs showed something impossible. When hovering near the monolith, onboard AI systems began generating non-programmed outputs. Not errors, questions. One drone recorded a line in its internal diagnostic file that engineers insist should be impossible. Signal source acknowledged. Acknowledged by what? Theories exploded inside classified circles. Some believed the monolith was a power regulator, stabilizing something buried beneath the ice. Others believed it was a lock, a marker placed above something too dangerous to expose. And then there was the most unsettling theory of all, that the monolith wasn't built for humans. It was built to be found by machines. Because machines don't need translation, they communicate in frequency, and that's where the hum came from. Multiple research stations reported identical low-frequency vibrations at the same time each night. Not random, timed, always between 2:17 and 2:19 a.m. local station time. Exactly 2 minutes, no more, no less. When scientists compared logs between stations hundreds of kilometers apart, they discovered something impossible. The vibrations were synchronized. Antarctica isn't supposed to behave like a single system, but during those 2 minutes, it did. One physicist described the sensation as standing inside a massive engine that had just started turning. Slowly, deliberately, and deep beneath the ice, something responded. Ice-penetrating radar scans, heavily classified, revealed vast hollow structures beneath the monolith. Not caverns, not tunnels. Geometry, right angles. Smooth planes, symmetry. Impossible formations miles below the surface. Too precise to be natural, too large to be human. When scientists attempted deeper scans, their instruments shut down mid-pulse. Every time, as if something refused to be mapped. One researcher broke protocol and ran the scan anyway. The data didn't save. But the machine's internal clock reset to a date thousands of years in the past. No explanation was ever given. Shortly after, that researcher was reassigned, not fired, not silenced, reassigned to a long-term off-grid project. No public record exists of where. Ancient history only deepened the mystery. Some of the oldest legends speak of a southern sentinel, a watcher at the end of the world, a place where the sky listens to the earth. Indigenous myths from entirely different cultures describe a black pillar at the bottom of the world, not as a weapon, but as a warning. A boundary marker, meaning something crossed it before. Satellite thermal imaging revealed something even more disturbing. The ice around the monolith melts faster during solar storms, not because of heat, because of resonance, as if the object responds to cosmic activity, as if it's tuned to something beyond Earth, which leads to a question few dare to ask. What if the monolith isn't transmitting? What if it's receiving? And if it's receiving, what is it waiting for? The final leaked report before the blackout contained a single sentence. Structure shows signs of phased reactivation. Reactivation implies prior activation, which means the monolith has done something before, long ago, when Antarctica wasn't frozen, when the world was different, when civilizations existed that history doesn't remember, and if the ice continues to melt, not gradually, but suddenly, then the monolith won't be buried much longer. And the thing about containment structures, they're never designed to hold forever, only long enough, which brings us to the most unsettling possibility of all. What if Antarctica isn't hiding something from us? What if it's hiding us from something else? And the monolith isn't a discovery, it's a countdown. What happened next never made the news, not because it wasn't important, but because it was too difficult to explain without causing panic. Within weeks of the monolith's discovery, multiple nations quietly sent representatives to Antarctica under the cover of scientific cooperation. They didn't bring researchers, they brought physicists, military analysts, and people whose job was to assess threats that don't officially exist. Meetings were held inside reinforced research stations, far from the monolith itself. No one was allowed to approach it directly anymore, because proximity changed things. Personnel reported subtle but consistent effects after being near the coordinates for too long. Sleep cycles disrupted, time perception altered, memories feeling out of order, not forgotten, misplaced. One researcher described remembering conversations that hadn't happened yet. Another claimed they felt an intense urge to return to the site, despite strict orders not to. As if the monolith wasn't just emitting energy, it was exerting influence. This led to a classified psychological assessment program. Anyone stationed within a certain radius was monitored for behavioral changes. The results were alarming. Increased pattern recognition, heightened intuition, sudden obsession with geometry and symmetry, and a recurring phrase spoken independently by multiple subjects during interviews: "It's not asleep." When asked what they meant, none of them could explain. They just knew. Then came the data anomaly that forced a complete lockdown. A deep-range sensor array picked up a rhythmic signal originating beneath the monolith. Not random, not noise. A pulse every 108 seconds. The same interval found in ancient astronomical measurements, religious architecture, and early human timekeeping systems. A number humanity has used for thousands of years, without remembering why. When analysts overlaid the pulse pattern onto global satellite data, another impossibility emerged. The signal wasn't contained, it was propagating. Subtle waves spreading outward through the planet's crust. Too weak to feel, too precise to be accidental. A planetary scale resonance, as if the Earth itself was being tuned. That's when one analyst reportedly asked the question that ended the meeting. What if this isn't an object? What if it's a node? A connection point between layers. Between surface and deep Earth. Between Earth and something beyond. Between now and before. Historical records reveal something chilling. Several ancient civilizations described a black stone at the end of the world that marked the boundary between eras. Not a weapon. A reset mechanism. When cycles ended, it activated. And Antarctica, once green and alive, suddenly froze. Not gradually suddenly, as if the planet itself changed state. Some researchers believe the monolith was involved. Not causing the freeze, but surviving it. Designed to endure planetary catastrophe. To wait, to signal when conditions were right again. And now, the ice is melting. Global systems are destabilizing, solar activity is increasing, and the monolith is waking up. One final drone mission was approved under extreme secrecy. This time, the drone was equipped with no cameras, only sensors, and one instruction: do not return. The drone descended vertically through a borehole melted into the ice directly above the monolith. As it passed beneath the surface, data streamed in real time. Temperature increased rapidly, magnetic fields intensified. Gravity readings fluctuated, then a void, not empty space, absence. The drone entered an area where instruments couldn't agree on reality. Before the signal cut, one final data packet transmitted, not numbers, not readings, a pattern. The same geometric structure found etched into the monolith's surface. The same structure repeated in ancient cave art, temple layouts, and early star maps. A warning or an instruction. No one knows what happened to the drone. But after that mission, all activity stopped. No more scans, no more flights, just silence. And silence, when it comes from Antarctica, is never natural. Because if the monolith is a marker, and markers exist to indicate thresholds, then humanity may already be standing too close. And the real question isn't what the monolith is. It's this: when it finishes what it was designed to do, will we recognize the world that comes after? No official statement was ever released. No press conference, no denial, no explanation. The monolith was simply forgotten. At least, that's what the public was meant to believe. But in the years that followed, something changed. Antarctica's ice continued melting in patterns that didn't match climate models. Solar storms became more frequent. Earth's magnetic field weakened in small but measurable ways. And every time those changes peaked, the same low-frequency hum returned. 2 minutes. Always 2 minutes. Some scientists now believe the monolith isn't waking up. It's counting down, not to destruction, to transition. Because markers aren't built to protect what's ahead. They exist to warn those who come after. If ancient civilizations encountered this object before, and their world ended soon after, then the question isn't whether the monolith is dangerous. It's whether ignoring it is. And the most unsettling part, there's no evidence the monolith was meant to be hidden forever. Only hidden until the right conditions returned, until the ice receded, until the sky changed, until humanity reached a point where it could finally notice. Which means this discovery wasn't an accident, it was inevitable. So if you ever hear about Antarctica going completely dark, no signals, no feeds, no updates, remember this: it won't mean something has gone wrong. It will mean something has finally finished waiting, and whatever comes next won't be buried under the ice anymore.